Today I'm making some torn napkin cards. Want to see? Come on in. Hello everybody, this is Julia Laird with Senior Susie Stamps, and I'm glad you came to join me today. I wanted to show you my cards that I've been making with torn napkins. This is the first one. But before we get started, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. We just rolled over 500 subscribers this week, and I really appreciate it and all the comments that you make. So thank you very much. Let's get started on these. I wanted to show you this one. Posted it on a Facebook page, and a lot of folks seem to like it. It is a torn napkin on top of a book page. There's some washi tape and some gems there, and I did some overstamping on it. This is the one that I got the request to do the video on, and so we're going to do one similar to this, and I'm going to do a birthday card today as well. I like this torn outline. It looks kind of like a rub-on to me, but it's a napkin. Now, this one came from the Dollar Tree several years ago, and this one I just ordered from Amazon. And I have a half of a napkin left here, because just in case you don't know this little trick, if you have a napkin that's a little hard to pull apart, sometimes I really struggle finding the little spot to pull these. If you have a spot that you're willing to sacrifice, and you put a piece of tape on both sides, just regular cellophane tape, and you put it on both sides like that, then your tape will pull your layers apart for you. And if it's 3-ply, you may have to do it twice, but it works really, really well to get them started for me. And I've always got plenty of material, so I don't mind sacrificing a little bit on mine. But you have to be sure, because this is not something that you can ever pull off. So that was just a little tip for you. So I've gone ahead, since we're making 2 cards today, and I started this card, and I've got the layers down. There's just a scrap of blue and a scrap of yellow and some washi tape and some photo corners. So we're going to be using that. And then I did the basic background in stencil, which of course you all know probably how to do, so I didn't want to take the time to do that. But it's 2 different stencils. And the first one is Birds on a Branch. This is from Hot Off the Press, Paper Wishes. And the music notes were from Paper Discovery. And it doesn't say. It's MAOB 0107. So those are the 2 stencils that I used. And you probably just have to search for them if you like them, because I don't know if they're still available or not. I've had them for quite a while. I've got the sentiment already. And so this is the little torn piece of napkin that I tore off after I separated it, and we're going to work that so that it comes up underneath those birds. I wanted it to be kind of a little gardening scene. So I'm going to get my handy dandy Dollar Tree cutting board here to do my glue work on, because it's just easier for me. Now I like to use photo glue stick by Pioneer. It's really nice and super sticky, and it works very well for me. So I'm going to start kind of back here and go towards that torn edge, and try to get as much glue actually up on the torn edge as possible, because that's the weakest part of these torn edge cards is getting enough glue up underneath that torn edge where it won't start peeling back on you. And I think that looks good. Let me move this out of the way. Let me go ahead and get this started here. So, I have this cut to size, and there's a little line on that napkin that I don't want to show. You have to be a little careful with these. And I have found that this little rolled edge bone folder works very well. If you'll take it and roll it kind of like that, it's easy, and you don't have to apply much pressure at all. And just kind of have to work it on there. It doesn't upset me if I have a wrinkle or two in these. I think it just kind of adds to the texture of them. Now, on the glue stick, what I have found, which is kind of fun, is the cleanup is super easy if you use some hand sanitizer. So on that clear cutting board, I'll just go back in if it dries up on me. If it's not dry, you can use a baby wipe, and that works really well. But if it has dried, then I just go back in with some hand sanitizer, and it loosens it right on up, and then you can just wipe it off with a baby wipe, and it's good to go. So now, that torn napkin is down, and I'm just going to find my scissors. Oh, here they are. And trim it off. I'm not going to worry about wrapping it around at all. And it's down good and tight with that glue stick. That glue stick is really nice and sticky, you know. There's a world of difference in glue sticks. If you get some of the cheaper brands of glue stick, they don't really stick very well. But this one sure does. Okay, let's get this card finished. Looks like I might have a little bubble right there. Let's see if I can push that back on. And you don't add much pressure now, because you can tear these little napkins easily. So I'm going to use my ATG gun and tape that right down to the top of this card. And as I said, just in the interest of time, I went ahead and did a lot of prep work on these two cards, since we were doing two today. A lot of people, I notice, when they do their napkin cards, they use the whole cover. And so I thought maybe this might be fun to do, and just do a little partial. And again, I'm going to rub it from the back, because I don't want to snag that napkin at all. I finished the inside too. This is a little piece of, these little things here are napkin that I glued down and then I fussy cut. That's another thing you can do with them. So I'm going to put that right in there, and I've already got it up on the double-sided tape. This little border right here is some small little washi tape, and I thought it made just another little extra something to look at down there. There. And then I cut just the center out, and I'm going to put it up on a little tiny piece of foam tape, and put it right over the center of that big flower. And this card's almost finished. One thing about these little napkin cards, they do finish up pretty quickly. There. So there's my card. All done and ready to go. Now let's do the Patriotic one. Now I know that a lot of my viewers are not in the United States. So now would be a time for you to sign off if you don't want to see this card, and it won't hurt my feelings. So let me see, what did it do with the cards? Here we are. This is kind of the one that we're going to do again. Now, this is the paper that I'm using, and I got it from scrapbook.com. It's a Cartabella page. It has a Star-Spangled Banner on one side and this nice blue background with white stars on the other. And my first cut is always to cut it to 12 inches this way and save the branding strip, because I use the branding strips. Now on this one you can see the branding strip is right here. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I've got my little sentiment for the front already done. I'm going to bring my little cutting board back in, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of start at the middle and go out to that torn edge carefully now, because when you're dragging your glue stick across, you can rip these, which is unfortunate. If you do that, then you gotta start again. Either that or just put a wrinkle in it and keep on rolling. A little bit more on this corner here. There. Get this out of the way. And now this is not cut down to size because I'm going to use my decal trimmer to cut it down a little bit more after I get the napkin put on it. Come back here. There we go. I wanted the eagle to show up on this one. So, oof, got sticky on my hands. You can do a little peel back like I am here, and it works okay. Now, get that baby wipe and get my fingers cleaned off a little bit and try to drag this off the top of that eagle. Now, don't like that little straggler there. I think when you're doing these cards, you can use just about anything as a base. Something with, sometimes I know people do run them through their embossing machines to give them a little more texture. I'm not going to do that today, but I can see how that would add a lot to it. There. Okay, now I'm going to use this Tim Holtz decal trimmer on this one, and I can't remember what the dimensions were. 3.5 by 4 3/4, I think. So let's just see. I'm going to cut it on all 4 sides. So it looks like I'm going to take about 1/4 inch off. And it adds just a little rough edge Now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry up completely, and we'll make the base of this card. I'm going to start with a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have some scraps of red here. I'm going to get my decal trimmer back out and just cut some random width strips out of this. This is the right size scrap, so all I need to do is just cut some. I'm going to cut a little piece to start, because that is where a fold line was. So I'm going to cut somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. I'm not really measuring, I'm just pushing it to see. I did want this one edge here as my starting point. And I'm just going to glue these on with my ATG tape runner. This is a really simple background to put together. And it kind of mimics the flag a little bit. And as I said, I'm just putting them in random order and bringing them straight across the card. This is all going to be covered up, so I wasn't worried about that. I had a little extra piece of this earlier, so I went ahead and finished the inside of the card base. One more. I'm going to get this big wide one because I want to cut it off and bring it up past the top there. Now, I'll flip it over and trim this off. Now I have a little piece of the stars. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it needs to go this way. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Because it's uneven here, I am going to use some liquid glue. And this is art glitter glue. There, right like that. Scooch it over a little bit. There. Now, I'm pretty sure this is dry. Now, it is. So I'm going to raise that up on some foam tape. Just for an extra added dimension here. There. I'm going to glue this one down. It's the first layer. Oh, let me show you what I did with the inside. See, I took a piece of that red that I had left from the other card, and I just put a real simple little white star on that. So here we go. I'm leaving a 1/4 inch border. Let me trim this little bit right here. There. And then this one's going to go up. And I set that other one at just a little bit of an angle. And I think we'll do the same with this one. There. And I've got the sentiment already up on foam tape. See if I can get that on straight. Sometimes there's too much going on and I don't notice it. There. Now, let me see where my little embellishments have gotten off to. These are, I got these from scrapbook.com as well, and they're called Sprinklets Old Glory NK143, and I thought they would be nice for just a little extra embellishment on these cards. They're fun. I had never seen these before, and I thought maybe they might just be what we needed on here. What do you think? I think so. Okay. Get my glue bottle. And we're almost done. I have some sentiment stamps that I'll stamp the inside of this card, but I didn't feel like digging for them today. I've just finished up completely redoing my studio, and it's been a little overwhelming job this week, but I am through, so yay. But that's the end of that card. Isn't that cute? I like those little stars on there. So let me know if you like it, and here they all are. This is a fun napkin as well. Did I show you those napkins? I forgot to show them to you. These I got from Amazon, and they came in a 2-pack purchase. So there they are. Here's the finished cards. If you have a favorite one, I'd love to know which one it is. Leave me a comment below. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.